AT&T Stadium in Arlington, Texas for the International Bowl, game 3 of 4 on day 2 as Team Canada meets the U.S. Under-18 national team. I'm Matt Peterson with Brian Barfield. A near upset in the game before this one, Japan giving the United States all they could handle, but behind a big running attack, the United States outlasted Japan. Now our game, the United States against Canada. The United States wants a bit of revenge. Canada's won 5 of the last 6 meetings between these countries.
Oh wow! And I think this is going to be a very good game between those two. And I'm very interested to see all the talent that's going to be displayed today on the field.
Under 18 national team against Canada. One more game after this. That will be the under 19 against Mexico. It's the United States and Canada coming up. Kickoff from Arlington when we come back.
Team USA will be represented by USA Football. Team Canada is represented by the International Bowl. I'll flip the coin and it'll hit the ground. Canada, you won the toss. You'd like to defer? You'd like the football? Guys, put your backs to the goal. Team Canada has won the toss and elected to defer. Team USA will be receiving. Gentlemen, shake hands. Let's have a great game.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's hear it for these outstanding young men.
The United States getting pumped up on its sideline. They'll be in the all-white uniforms, helmets, tops, and pants. And the U.S., a interesting coaching staff. Tyree Spinner and Bryson Spinner, brothers there, the head coach and offensive coordinator and quarterbacks coach, respectively, at the Avalon School in Wheaton, Maryland. But Bryson Spinner, a renowned quarterbacks coach who trains Dwayne Haskins, the Ohio State quarterback, coming off a great year, probably a first-round pick in the April draft. And Trace McSorley at Penn State, high praise from Urban Meyer. He called Bryson Spinner one of the best quarterback coaches he's been around. So we'll see how these Spinner brothers attack this Canadian defense. Canada won the toss. They have deferred. They want the ball in the second half. So we'll see the American offense right away. Canada coached by Steve Sumara. And they've beaten the United States 5 of the last 6 years at the International Bowl. Here we go, the kickoff from Ben Hadley, taken at the 6-yard line. And out to about the 26-yard line. And down to the sideline with Sarah Merrifield.
There are a lot of really good answers to the question, what is your favorite part of this experience? And you'll hear a lot of things from the players like, well, it's a great opportunity. We really enjoy getting a chance to meet all these new people. And of course, who wouldn't want to play at AT&T Stadium here in Arlington? But maybe the most consistent answer that you'll probably hear from the players is that they're honored to wear USA across their chest. And in today's game with the U18 team for the United States national team going up against Canada, we might see a little bit more of a competitive edge because both teams take very great pride in their countries. And for the United States national team, they are 1-6 against Canada. So the competitive nature, it's going to be there, guys.
Thank you, Sarah. So her history goes even further than ours. 1-6 of the last 7 meetings as the first play from scrimmage is thrown to the outside and incomplete.
I definitely know what Sarah means by wearing a USA on the chest. Being a veteran myself, that means a lot to me.
Ken Seals is the quarterback at Weatherford High School in Azle, Texas. Good size, 6'3". There, he'll hand it off. Nice gain. Up the middle for 3 or 4. And immediately, Brian, you can see the size of that Canadian defensive line.
Very big. And it looks like that the USA is going to come out with, Team USA is going to look out coming out with the running attack. And I'm interested to see what's going to happen as the game goes on, and especially against those big guys from Canada.
Miles Nash with the running back to start things off for the U.S. 18 national team. Out of Sac C High School in Sac C, Texas. And he spoke this week about the opportunity to play for the national team and the pride he has. On 3rd and 7 now. Seals brought down. Nice play made around the line of scrimmage. Ramsey Durbis out of Saskatoon, Saskatchewan.
That was a great up the field pressure that he applied. And the quarterback got out of the pocket, but he didn't have anywhere else to go.
Yeah, give credit on the play. The interior defensive lineman who forced him to get flushed out.
Early 3-and-out for Team USA.
Keelan White back to receive after the U.S. goes 3-and-out on their opening series. They go for the block. They nearly get to it, but Fabrizio Pinto with the punt. It takes a pro-U.S. bounce back towards the star, and it's down there by Spencer Shaver.
Looks like Canada is going to come out with some great field position to start the game off with. You look across that offensive line, they are massive. Some big guys.
Yeah, it's a big jump from the U17s to U18s. We just saw Japan and the United States in a good fight. U.S. won 28-24, a back-and-forth game. A couple score changes there in the fourth quarter. Oh, Canada's first series, they hand it off. Matthew Peterson.
Hard run.
Out to the outside, eludes a linebacker. And he's pushed out of bounds. Big play on first down for the 5'10", 201-pound running back.
Peterson looks like another running back that plays in that stadium.
Out of Brooks, Alberta. And I assume you're referring to Ezekiel Elliott.
Of course.
Holding, offense, number 88, 10-yard penalty from the end of the run. Replay first down.
Damian Alford, the receiver, negates that big run.
Matthew Peterson did look good. He still looked good on that run, though, being elusive, being able to get out of tackles as well.
Both of these rosters smaller than we've seen from other teams. 36 on the United States under-18 national team. Canada a few fewer. Good ball fake, rolls out to his right, throws it, and it's caught. Reception made by Lucas Robertson out of Edmonton, Alberta. Big size for him, 6'4" and 230 pounds.
Way to get some of that yardage back from the penalty call on the play before. I'm just so amazed by the size of this offensive line that I'm looking at. I mean, they look like they play on Sundays.
The quarterback is Xavier Tremblay out of Laval, Quebec. 5'11.5". 3 receivers out to the left, 1 to the right for 2nd and 7 for Canada. Big throw downfield and just overthrown. The intended target, Damian Alford, the 6'5" wide receiver, good coverage downfield. Hunter Washington out of Katy, Texas, and the renowned football program at Katy High School.
They always have a great program every year. They're in contention for state title. And although they lost this year to the eventual state champions, North Shore, they still have a lot of talent. That Katy team stays loaded.
Yeah, if you didn't follow high school football, you looked at the score, North Shore won't beat them by more than 10 points. You sort of get a double take, but then you realize North Shore, one of the best teams in the last few decades in the Houston area. Good pressure on 3rd down, but he's elusive. He escapes it out to the 45. And a little shy of the first down, but impressive run from Xavier Tremblay.
And a great tackle by Spencer Shaver. He was very elusive. I mean, he looks like he's trying and trying and trying, and he finally gets away, but then all of a sudden you see the big guy just comes up and says, not today, young man.
We have seen mobile quarterbacks today. The Japanese quarterback, very effective with his feet. The Americans, couple touchdown runs in the prior game. Oh, the Canadians will punt from the 35-yard line. An opportunity to return it for the United States. Flushed outside. It's Stephen McGee. Runs into his own man about the 32-yard line.
That was a great run by McGee. He elected not to do a fair catch, even though he had people around him. He decided to say, hey, look, I'm going to try to get as much as I can out of this.
The drum line enjoying this one.
2 quick 3-and-outs by both offenses. I'm hoping to see a longer drive by the U.S. national team.
McGee, the return man of East High School in Rochester, New York. Now the sun peeking through one element of AT&T Stadium. It's a retractable roof stadium, but in glass windows in the end zone, though, the sun can peek through at this time of day. Hand it off. Nice run up the middle, breaking through, and a first down for the United States. Miles Nash out of Sac C High School in Rowlett, Texas.
What a way to find the hold. You notice the cutback. And that's what you have to do at this age as you get ready to play on that next level. You always have to be able to find it.
Face mask, defense, number 96, 15 yards from the end of the run, automatic, first down.
Now 96 with the face mask. You could see it early in that run as he fought through the run and still carried it more than 10 yards. And great aerial shot right at midfield over the famous Cowboys star at midfield.
Standing right in the middle like T.O. did.
So many players enjoy this. We had a chance to watch the players before the first morning game, hours before the 9:30 kickoff. And guys were just hanging out, stretching, getting loose right on top of the star. There's a sack. Strong takedown, Isaiah Latander out of Winnipeg, Manitoba.
Great pressure by the Canadian defensive line. It seems like they put the offensive lineman on skates, but they were right there. No surprise there in the play.
Sort of a wrestling takedown.
Yeah.
He grabbed him with two hands from behind. Latander, 296 pounds. Second and 16. Seals the quarterback from the shotgun. 3 receivers out to his right. They'll go that way. They set up the screen. Blockers in front of him. Space now. And finally brought down. Kavion Mack with the reception.
And that's one way to stop the pressure. One way to stop the pressure is to run a lot of screens. That'll put the defensive front on notice that, hey, wait a minute, we can't get up the field like we want to.
Lucas Cormier with the tackle.
And that wide receiver screen is very, very popular. We'll see a lot of that this weekend during some of those NFL championship games.
The Saints and the Rams from New Orleans, and the Chiefs and the Patriots from Kansas City. Any early thoughts on those two games? We're about 2 days away.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing what Patrick Mahomes is going to do against a Bill Belichick-led defense. So that's what I want to see, if Andy Reid can finally get over the hump of having some, being unsuccessful in the playoffs. I really want to see him finally get some of the reward that he deserves.
Of course, Drew Brees at home against a Los Angeles Rams young quarterback in Jared Goff. 3 receivers out to the left for the United States. Scoreless game, 5 minutes into it. This is game number 3 out of 4 today. Later tonight, it's the under-19 national team from the U.S. taking on Tamaulipas of Mexico. Third and 4. Handoff. Right side and nowhere to go. Out on the perimeter, Dorian Daniel Royale out of Quebec with the big stop.
6'4", 265 pounds. That's a lot of young men coming at you downhill. I like the way, and he has great footwork. It seems like he was able to get off the pressure, get off the line and get down there to get the tackle.
4th and 5. The International Bowl, we see so many teams go for it. This is a perfect part of the field to try it in the first quarter. Three receivers to the left for Ken Seals, the quarterback. Seals looking over the middle. He'll go downfield down the right side, and he overthrows his man. He was open. The target was Charles Finley.
Timeout. Media.
Scoreless after 6 minutes from Arlington. Canada and the United States. A defensive stalemate so far. Matt Peterson with Brian Barfield. Sarah Merrifield down on the sideline as Canada in red takes over. Fake of a handoff on first down. Open receiver. Hit immediately at the 40-yard line.
What a great way to come downhill for the safety. Open field tackling is harder than a lot of people think. You know, one move could have you out of the play entirely. So to see at this age for him to be able to tackle that way is very interesting.
Emmett Stedman with the catch out of Regina, Saskatoon. Two receivers left, one to the right. Hand it off up the middle. About 3 or 4 before Matthew Peterson is pushed backward. Isaiah Gamble in on the tackle for the United States.
The defense is starting to, well, both defenses are playing very well tonight. So I want to see the adjustments that's going to be made by the coaches on the offensive side of the ball. Quick 3 and out for Canada earlier, so we're going to see if they're going to be able to get the ball back into the flats.
Good ball fake on the handoff, wide open out to the left side, and you see him out there to block. Big
Look at him keep going.
Out to the 37-yard line. Nice run and catch for Lucas Robertson, the fullback.
I was even fooled by that myself. What a great play fake. Xavier Tremblay pulled that off very, very well.
Robert Time, Edmonton, 6'4", 230 pounds. This Canadian team has a feel of one that's played together for some time. Their offensive scheme seems very formulaic and like they've practiced it a long time. Another handoff. Peterson cuts inside. And down about the 32-yard line.
And just like I said earlier, when the USA team had the ball, when you had the wide receiver screens would slow down the defense, trick plays like that, like the Canadian team just pulled off, is another thing that'll stop the defenses from being able to put so much pressure on your quarterback.
Gain of 5, now 2nd down for Canada. Seem to be trying to control the clock. Each play beginning with about 5 seconds or less on the play clock. Man in motion, snapped. They fake the handoff to Peterson. Good fake, and he'll just go down, cut his losses as Tremblay saw 2 defensive linemen in his face.
Very good play by Tremblay, though. I know that it will be considered a sack, but in order to hold on to the ball and not do anything crazy, because he could have thrown it down the field and got interception, or he could have fumbled it. I'm just glad that he protected the ball.
Referee's talking things over.
Illegal shift. Offense. 2 men in motion. Do not reset. 5-yard penalty. 2nd down. Correction.
The U.S. will decline the call.
3rd down.
As you see on the staff of the Spinner brothers. 3rd and 5.
Being up in Maryland when I was stationed up that way, I got a chance to see a lot of good football in the Virginia, Maryland, D.C. area. So those, I know that I'm from Texas, home of king of football, but they have some very good talent up that way.
Xavier Tremblay.
Timeout.
And now the Canadians forced to call time.
Their first of the half.
Still looking for our first score, a defensive battle from Arlington, tied at 0 between Canada and the United States.
You know, it's one of those things on we're in our 50s and we've been through this. And also, I'm in my 50s, I married a
A look at the Canadian sideline under 3 minutes left first quarter. Steve Samara, the head coach for Team Canada. A lot of experience as a college head coach, 12 years. And Canadian colleges, including St. Mary's, plus 12 more years as an assistant. And last year led Team Canada's under-18 team to a 44-26 win over the United States in this tournament, the International Bowl. A handoff on 3rd down. He will not get there. Nice work from the United States defensive line on 3rd down. This is Samara's 7th time on the sideline in a Canadian national team game.
4th and 4. It's been a great defensive game so far. I know I sound like I keep repeating myself, but I'm very impressed by these 2 defenses so far. And it's a great opportunity for a lot of these kids to be seen out here today, and to be able to play this way. Oh, they're going for it.
Would have been a long field goal, maybe 48 yards. So they will try for it on 4th and 4 with 4 receivers to the left. And some movement up front. The right guard seemed to be moving.
False start. Offense. Number 73. 5-yard penalty.
Eric Anderson
Fourth down.
moved out of London, Ontario.
I wonder if that penalty is going to change the mindset of the offensive coordinator and the head coach.
Well, it's tricky because it would have been a long field goal. Now it would be an even longer field goal or an easier punt. It just depends how you want to look at it.
One thing that these guys have to learn at this level is that penalties will kill a drive. Got to learn to stay disciplined.
Ben Hadley, the kicker, doubles as the punter, standing at midfield. And back to receive for the United States, Christian Abraham out of East Orange, New Jersey. Minimal attempt to block from the United States. They want to return this. It bounces out around the 12-yard line. That's where the next U.S. national team drive will begin. A drum line getting a little workout.
Matt, in this next offensive series for Team USA, look for us a little bit more trick plays. They're coming out for their third series now. They've probably gotten a great look at what this defense is going to do for the rest of the game.
It's been a game dereft of offense. 46 total yards for Canada, just 20 for the United States. 3 total first downs in this first quarter. And you can see how they're loading the box. 9 total players within 5 yards of the line of scrimmage for Team Canada. Pitched out to the right side. A sweep here. Nice play. Wrestled down around the 21-yard line. Good pickup. A wide receiver, Stephen McGee, coming from the left.
Jet sweeps like that will always make a defensive player, especially the linebackers. That's who gets caught up the most because they don't know exactly where they have to locate the ball first. And a jet sweep like that will kill a defense all the time.
Tyshawn Blackburn from Calgary with a nice tackle. Also would have been a much bigger gain. Third first down for the United States. A minute left here in the first quarter. From the shotgun, they hand it off. Miles Nash picks up 4 or 5 before a host of tacklers, including Ramsey Durbus, in on the stop.
Looks like in this game, possession is going to be very important and a key to winning this football game.
Both teams playing with a similar tempo, letting the play clock wind down. Trey Dawson is the new quarterback. He's from the Kent School in Middlebury, Connecticut. Good size, 6'5".
Timeout. Team USA.
And the U.S. will call time.
Their first of the half.
Looks like there was a bit of confusion coming in, the play calling coming in from the sidelines. Maybe because it's a new play caller.
Al Seals was the starter. Now we'll see Dawson for the first time. They were talking before the game about Team Canada, and the starting quarterback Seals said it looks like the defense they play in a 4-2. They cover 2. And we go down to the sideline with Sarah Merrifield.
Well, guys, over here on the USA sideline, a minute ago, it was quite sunny. And the way the stadium is designed is there's a panel of windows over on the west side where the sun is setting. And like I said a few minutes ago, pretty blinding light affecting not only the bench and the coaches, but also occasional players on the field. So it looks like they caught a little bit of a break here as the sun is setting because there's a cloud cover that's coming in on the second level of panels. But good news, it's inside and we're not affected by any sun. Guys?
Thank you, Sarah. We saw it earlier as the sun was peeking through as that pass from Dawson deep downfield, too far for McGee. But I like that these dome stadiums still have some sort of elements as part of the game.
Oh, yes. Early on when the stadium was built, the owner and general manager Jerry Jones liked the fact that sun, because he would always say that it was an advantage for the Cowboys against the opposite team.
3rd and 7 for the U.S. with quarterback Trey Dawson from the shotgun. 3 receivers out to the left. Blitz from Canada. Open man is dropped. Would have been a first down, but the favorite target, Seven McGee, unable to haul it in.
That's a catch that has to be made, especially to extend the drive. One thing that I'm seeing about Trey Dawson, though, he has a very big arm. You know,
we saw it on the prior play when he went downfield and overthrew his receiver. Big shot on the quarterback from Isaiah Latander, who got in late and made Dawson pay for that throw. Should be good field position for Team Canada. And another timeout is called. So both teams using timeouts here in the first quarter.
Team USA.
The U.S. may have seen something in that defensive grouping and didn't want a block. And they look, from these Spinner brothers, says it all. Tyree and Bryson, brothers, frustrated on the sideline for Team USA.
In 2018, more than 10,000
USA Football, a member of the U.S. Olympic Committee, offers athletes premier skill building and competitive platforms to represent the United States in our favorite sport. Athletes in grades 6 to 11 can get started at one of 18 U.S. national team regionals held nationwide this spring and summer. Top performers earn U.S. national team roster invitations to face the world's best competition and play at the under 16 to under 19 levels. Visit usafootball.com for more information. That's usafootball.com. Standing at his own 10-yard line. And it is blocked. Right at the 10-yard line, it rolls backward, and it's recovered by Canada and brought down at the 23-yard line. Ramsey Durbis with the recovery, and there was 2 or 3 Canadians that could have blocked that.
And you have to be aware, especially coming out of a timeout. I'm pretty sure that the head coach talked to them about that, and I guess Canada may have switched it up just a tad bit with a different formation. But that was very, very good by a Canadian special teams.
As the adage goes, the more defensive of a game, the more important special teams may become, as we see
shipped directly to you. Complete challenges to earn rare achievement cards available exclusively for ePack users. Sign up today at upperdeckepack.com and receive a free pack just for logging in. Buy, open, collect, and trade from anywhere at any time. Only on upperdeckepack.com.
The game starts in the film room and continues in the locker room. It locks down on the sideline, then plays out on the field. The game is controlled from the top down. Mind over matter. Every second on the clock, every inch on the turf, fought over and decided upon by every player out there. It's their game, where strategy and speed of thought conquers all.
Gatorade studies the best athletes to create the most advanced range of sports fuel. Gatorade. You fuel us, we fuel you.
Good job. Good job. Good job. Nice. Good job. There it is. Go, 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 go. Keep him in. Keep him in. That's the way they celebrate. I can't hear you. What's the difference between a good defense and a great defense?
Welcome back, AT&T Stadium, Arlington, Texas. Matt Peterson with Brian Barfield and Sarah Merrifield. 1st and 10 for the Canadians. Fumbled snap, picked up. And scrambling back near the line of scrimmage, Xavier Tremblay. Keegan Cator is the new quarterback. I beg your pardon. He was the one with the low snap, which he recovered. 6'3" quarterback out of Regina, Saskatchewan.
Seems like that was nerves, Matt. First time in the game. Trying to get himself together. Got to get composed.
Cator follows Tremblay, who led Canada on its first few series. This time he hands it off. Nice sweep to Keelan White. And White tumbles out to about the 16-yard line.
Misdirection is going to be key in this game. And I'm starting to notice that the defensive lines for both teams are starting to get a lot of pressure up the field.
Illegal shift. Numbers 13 and 88 went in motion and never got set. Offense, 5-yard penalty. 2nd down.
Second illegal shift we've seen from the Canadians so far. That was White who got the ball, and Damien Alford. White out of North Vancouver, British Columbia. He's one of several returnees from last year's Canadian team, which beat the United States. Both White and Lucas Cormier come back after they beat the U.S. 44-26 in this same game.
4 early penalties is not good.
High snap. Big throw downfield. Touchdown! In and out! It seemed like he had it in his grasp, but knocked away at the last moment. Big play, Kendrick Hobson. And it was White after the penalty nearly atoning.
The Canadian team is showing that they're not afraid to go down the field, Matt. Oh, great hit. Great hit to dislodge the ball away from it at the last minute. That's a play that will be shown over and over again in the film study.
How eager are we for a touchdown? We're 13 minutes into a scoreless game. We both thought it was caught and it's out. And look at the reaction there from White. Hands on his head. And the teams will retreat to their sidelines for an injury. A near touchdown in Arlington. Still scoreless in the International Bowl.
Our industry has been chasing this breakthrough for a decade, but we got there first. Not only is it ranked as the highest rated fiber in history, it delivers greater performance than any other field turf system ever built. Introducing Field Turf Core, the first multi-layer super fiber.
Player safety is paramount, and TackleTube USA, the original, is leading the way with a tool designed to make practice safer and teach great tackling technique. TackleTube allows players to simulate real game situations, track and tackle a moving target, promote great body position, and improve technique and timing. Coaches all over the world are using TackleTube to promote a safer and more efficient way to tackle. Used both in and out of season, drills for every position, they never need to leave the practice field. Check us out at TackleTube USA.
This season is one to remember, and USA Football has partnered with fanbooks.com to offer personalized player photo books that you will treasure forever. Customize your fan book with your favorite photos from your camera or from the USA Football photo albums inside the Fanbooks app. Use the free Fanbooks app to place your order, and your custom fan book will be delivered right to your door. Download the Fanbooks app in the App Store or Google Play and learn more at fanbooks.com.
The game starts in the film room and continues in the locker room. It locks down on the sideline, then plays out on the field. The game is controlled from the top down, mind over matter. Every second on the clock, every inch on the turf, fought over and decided upon by every player out there. It's their game, where strategy and speed of thought conquers all.
7:35 remaining. Tatum with the drive.
Gatorade studies the best athletes to create the most advanced range of sports fuel. Gatorade. You fuel us, we fuel you.
Good job. Good job. Good job. Nice. Good job. There it is. Go, 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 go. Keep him in. Keep him in. That's the way they celebrate. I can't hear you. What's the difference between a good defense and a great defense?
Upper Deck ePack's patent-pending technology lets you open, collect, and trade football cards at any time from anywhere. Make instant trades with collectors around the world, or choose to have your cards shipped directly to you. Complete challenges to earn rare achievement cards, available exclusively for ePack users. Sign up today at upperdeckepack.com and receive a free pack just for logging in. Buy, open, collect, and trade from anywhere at any time. Only on upperdeckepack.com.
An injury in the end zone at the International Bowl. Scoreless game. And on that near touchdown catch from Keelan White, an injured player in the end zone being attended to.
Something you never want to see, not at this age. You never want to see a kid go down with an injury. And when you have a limited roster, when you're playing in these type of games.
A juxtaposition, beautiful stadium, the sun peeking through that end zone with those windows we referenced, and a player down being attended to in the end zone. United States sideline. 36 players on this U.S. national team from 19 states. We mentioned the Spinner brothers, Tyree and Bryson, two of the coaches. Other interesting coaches on the staff. Jeff Barnett is the offensive line coach for the United States. He's also the director of recruiting at Rice University down the road in Houston. And then Vi Tao is running backs coach at Nevada, and also running backs coach for this U.S. national team. So it's a left leg injury to Kendrick Hobson, the defensive back for the United States, as he is being attended to on the medical cart.
Kendrick Hobson is a great kid, 5'10", 145 out of Lawrence, Kansas. But just to see something like this is just something you don't want to see. I mean, as a player, as a parent, as a coach. I admire his fervor, though. I admire his spirit. I mean, you can still see that he's in a cheerful spirit, even though he's injured. Because you never know. Anytime you see the cart coming towards the field, you never know what the injury is, how severe it is. And
Hobson, a defensive back from Lawrence, Kansas. He told the USA Football media folks the person he'd like to meet, living or deceased, is Walter Payton.
Wow. Great person, great person, great role model as well. And, you know, a little bit of, kind of good as a running back as well.
Always find it interesting when an athlete really looks up to a player at a different position. You know, defensive back, and Peyton, of course, a all-time great running back. We sometimes see it in different sport, and you see this, clapping, encouraging his teammates.
And Walter Payton was somebody that you would want to emulate anyway. Have you ever paid attention to his off-season workouts? There's been documented that his off-season workouts was like that of no other, which Jerry Rice came back to emulate.
Well, we certainly hope he's okay. Really the first significant injury we've had at the International Bowl here in game number 7 out of 8 between the 2 days. And we resume play. Canada, after the near touchdown and that injury, have a pass caught on the left side by Mason Novick out of Regina, Saskatchewan.
Field goal attempt.
Ben Hadley will try it around 37 yards to try to give us our first points today. Good hold, the kick is up. And no good. I think wide left. Seemingly had the distance. Or either too low or wide left, and we stay scoreless.
Great pressure off the end by Team USA as well. That may have had a direct effect on how he followed through with the kick. Points are very, very important in this game. So I'm just hoping that this missed kick doesn't come back to haunt Team Canada.
Been a defensive game to say the least. 78 total yards between the two teams on offense. 45 for the Canadians, 33 for Team USA. But a lot of football left. This can change in a hurry. We sort of saw that in the prior game, Japan against the United States under 17s. That was a low-scoring game, 7-3 until late in the first quarter. And it ended up 28-24. Trey Dawson back in at quarterback, and on first down he hands off. Minimal gain for Miles Nash.
Trey Dawson at 6'5", 220. Reminds you of someone else, maybe Cameron Newton, maybe?
I was thinking the same thing. As soon as you said remind you of someone else.
Personal foul, face mask, number 15, defense, 15-yard penalty, and then automatic first down.
Yeah, that was an easy call. I saw it going through. A face mask. I couldn't identify the player. But you could see his head jerk back.
And once again, Matt, the overall theme has been what? Penalties, penalties, penalties on the Canadian side of the ball. Something that the coach is probably going to talk to them at the halftime about to try to clean up for the second half. I'm wondering if the USA team is going to unleash Mr. Dawson. I feel like I should call him Mr. at 6'5", 220.
After the face mask, it's first down. They go back to the ground. Dorian Daniel Royale with the tackle after a minimal pickup from the American running back Miles Nash.
At this point, I'm interested to see, like I said earlier, are they going to open it up? And I'm thinking that both teams are probably looking at their offensive play call and saying, well, we may have to open this thing up a little bit. And I'm looking to see maybe some 5 wides, maybe. No back in the backfield.
It's interesting. They've only had 6 practices. We've heard other coaches talk about that. So they try to keep it simple. Sometimes it's too simple. 2nd and 10. Dawson from the shotgun. Will go out to the right side, caught. Nice defense, Romero Nash, after a short pickup from Parker Ellis, the wide receiver from Savage, Minnesota.
And like you said, they only have 6 practices to get to know each other compared to playing an entire season and getting that continuity amongst each other. big 3rd down and 10 coming up here. I want to see what type of pressure the Canadian team is going to bring.
Third and 10. Love the pre-snap conversation between the quarterback and his running backs and even a receiver, as we saw that there between Trey Dawson and some of his teammates. The Canadians are clapping. Seems like this will go against the United States.
Prior to the movement by the offense, USA uses their 3rd and final timeout.
Extra careful here with 7:29 left in the first half. They use their final timeouts. And what has stood out to you, Brian Barfield, about this defense from Canada limiting the United States to a total of 33 yards on offense?
Well, if you remember, about a couple of weeks ago, we seen the defensive front 4 in Clemson University totally put a lot of pressure on Alabama's offense and their, Heisman runner-up. The Canadian team right here has a great defensive front 4 that's getting a lot of pressure as well, which is causing the USA team to not to be able to get into their offense and not be fluid. And so that defensive front 4 for that Canadian team, a big defensive front 4, is bringing a lot of pressure.
So we'll see how the Americans come out on this 3rd and 10. 22 passing yards in this first half. There's 2 of 6 throwing the football. Dawson from the shotgun. Three receivers out to the left. Immediately goes out there. They try the screen. And he rumbles forward, tackled by 3 Canadians. Catch made by Kavion Mack from Peoria, Illinois.
Team USA, I want to see them go down the field a little bit more. We only seen them go down the field one time. And like I was saying earlier, though, with that defensive front 4, Bradley Alexandre, number 92 for the Canadian team, 6'4", 320 pounds. That's a man right there.
Second catch for Mack. They're 5 yards shy of the first down marker. Another punt coming. And here we see Keelan White to return it. He nearly had the touchdown a few minutes ago. And it's fumbled. Low snap picked up by the punter. He eludes it, and he'll get the kick away. How about that? Fair catch made around the 29-yard line by Keelan White. Nearly a disaster for the United States on a low snap. But a rugby-style kick after the low snap. Well done. Fabrizio Pinto out of the Woodlands, Texas. North of Houston.
Very, very smart play. Very smart play. 9 times out of 10, you'll see a kid maybe try to take off and run that to try to see if he can pick up the first down. But he very good field awareness by the punter.
On first down, handed off left side, pickup of 3. Forced out of bounds on that sideline by Denzel Blackwell out of Strake Jesuit High School in Houston. Anthony Renault with the carry for Team Canada out of Laval, Quebec.
Going back to that earlier play with the busted up play for the for Team USA on the punt, he still got some good airtime on that and caused a fair catch. So they really didn't lose out except for the mishap on the snap of the ball.
Very impressive punt from Fabrizio Pinto. 2nd and 7 for the Canadians. Handed off up the middle, about 3 or 4. Again, Anthony Renault, the ball carrier.
Chaz Wallace out of the Avion School, 6'2", 285 pounds with the tackle. One thing that I've noticed about these defensive linemen as well, coming from the high school all the way up to the pro ranks, they're getting lighter on their feet while they're still carrying a massive amount of weight.
3rd and 3 after 2 carries on the first 2 downs of this drive. Fake of a handoff, flipped and too high, slightly overthrown. Lucas Robertson did his best. The fullback could not haul it in.
Great pressure, great pressure. Great play calling by bringing the pressure from Team USA. that affected the throw because it's hard to throw a guy that's 6'4". It's hard to overthrow a guy like that.
Slightly overthrown by Keegan Cator, the quarterback. And they're going to go for it on 4th down. They bring back Xavier Tremblay. Make this Matthew Peterson. It's the running back. No quarterback in the backfield. It's going to be the Peterson to take it. They're going to punt. I beg your pardon. And punt it all the way downfield. And down to the 16. A battle of special teams here in the first half, Brian.
Yes, field position is playing a real important part of this game. A lot of plays are starting behind their own 30-yard line for each team as well. And that changes the complexity of the play calling that an offensive coordinator wants to do, because you got to protect your side of the field as well.
Now the Americans will start from the 16-yard line. Ken Seals is the quarterback. A pitch out to the right side. Nice move inside, then back outside. He's still on his feet past the 30 and pushed out of bounds. Big game. Seven McGee, the wide receiver.
Something that Team USA really needed. They needed a spark to get them going. And what a great run. Way to see the hole. And we got a chance to see a little bit of that speed that he possesses.
First down after the big run, now at the 41-yard line. They give it back to McGee, and he picks up 3. Now back to the sideline with Sarah Merrifield.
Well, we've seen Seven McGee make a couple of great plays throughout this game so far, and he's a wide receiver from Rochester, New York. And right now, he's the only guy on this particular team, U18, who's actually made a hard commitment to a Division I program. But he still has 1 year of eligibility left in high school, so he's going to do that and then become a freshman at Oregon in 2020. But here's a fun fact about him. He's named numbers like the number 7. His name is 7 because he has 6 older sisters, guys.
Here's Gibson, great move on the inside, and he will take it into the end zone. United States scores first. 2 big plays on the drive, and they take a 6-0 lead. Gibson, great move on the outside.
Way to make the defender miss right here and get up the field. Once he makes that defender miss, he's no stopping him. And that's where those plays are made every day in practice and in the summer and during spring football. Wow, what a great run by Gibson.
Out of St. Mary's High School, a very good football school in Northern California. 2 big plays in a span of a few minutes.
And as great as these defenses have been playing, it's you're happy to get a score any way you can.
58-yard touchdown catch from Jared Gibson. Ken Seals threw it to him. The kick is up and good. Under 5 minutes left in the first half. The Americans strike first. Gibson from Seals. It's 7-0. Welcome back. The United States strikes first, 7-0 in game 3 of 4 today. A 58-yard touchdown catch, Jarrett Gibson from Ken Seals. After a nice run from Seven McGee. It was a 25-yard run, a short pooch kick. Fumbled at the 36-yard line. It's loose and recovered. Ramsey Durbis on the spot.
Looked like Team USA wanted another opportunity to get her strike again. Coming out with a pooch kick. And they almost recovered it, almost.
Lucas Cormier and Lucas Robertson both trying to catch that.
Reminds me of the first game between Team Japan against Team USA when the ball just kept squirting out on that one play. On that last touchdown play, though, that Gibson scored, you remember we talked about earlier that open field tackling is very hard to do, and that was one of the examples right there.
The Spinner brothers, Bryson and Tyree, two of the coaches on this under-18 national team staff. Back to pass. It's Cater, and he's up to the 39-yard line. They've been bouncing between Xavier Tremblay and Keegan Cater at the quarterback position.
Looks like the defense was just, he didn't see anything down the field because the defense was in zone. Playing that type of defense and being able to have someone covered at every position makes the quarterback have to make quick decisions as well.
Jalen Simon among the tacklers out of Seven Lakes High School in Katy, Texas. Katy, Texas, well represented on this U18 national team. As it's handed off, a flag comes in. The ball carried by Anthony Reynaud.
Carry made by number 28, Anthony Reynaud.
Great open field tackle by Christian Abraham.
Tackle made by number 1.
Illegal shift. The tight end and wide receiver both in motion and not getting set. Offense, 5-yard penalty. Second down.
Man, I know I sound like a broken record, and I'm going to say it again and again and again. Penalties will kill drives. You have to make sure that you're staying set. You have to make sure that you know the snap count. You got to keep your hand away from the face mask. And that's what's causing Team Canada not to put together consistent drives. Every drive they've had a penalty on it.
Steve Samara on the Canadian sideline. Tons of experience. For 10 years as a head coach in the Canadian college system. 12 years as an assistant prior to that. Good fake. Cater. Big throw down, and it's dropped. Oh. Another opportunity for Canada. This time, Nicholas Kentico, a Quebec native.
I was always told by my receivers coach, if it touches your hands, you have to catch it.
Another flag comes out.
Ineligible downfield player, number 53 of the offense. That penalty is declined. Third down.
Ethan Vibert was the man downfield, which would have negated that catch.
I almost thought they was going back to the play they ran earlier in the first quarter, but now they went down the field. This young man owes his wide receiver coach some push-ups.
Canada breaks the huddle, 3rd and 11 with 3:23 left here in this first half. Cater. Wrestled down around the 33-yard line. A flex afterward for the defensive lineman, Caleb Murphy out of West Washington High School in Salem, Indiana.
You got 6'4", 230 pounds bearing down on you like that. The only thing you can do is just go down. That's all you can do.
6'4", 230 pounds for that man.
Number 10, Ben Hadley in the punt for Team Canada.
Reminds me of a young J.J. Watt right there.
Number 13.
Or Joey Bosa.
Take your pick. Hadley on to punt. It's nearly blocked, and he's run into by an American special teams player. Punt is out around the 35-yard line. We'll see how they judge that special teams defense. Which degree of infraction for the U.S. The full 15-yard penalty or the 5-yarder.
Looks like it may be a 5-yarder.
Either 5 yards or a stop sign.
Running into the kicker on the return team. Penalty is declined. First down, USA.
I think that's a good call. It's a very gray area, Brian, but it seems like he tried to slow himself down as much as he could once he didn't make the block.
Charles Finley, the kid who caused the infraction, it looked like he was almost there. Matt, he was almost there. But you know what? Only counts in horseshoes, right?
Yeah, it's one of those calls. I think it's very difficult to make, and I think it's tough as the special teams player. Your entire job is to block the kick, but if you don't get it, you're in very grave danger of running into the kicker.
And your momentum is taking you that way, so it's hard to put on the brakes once you get going that way at full speed, too.
The U.S. takes over after a touchdown on its last drive. 2 big plays set it up. A big run and a 58-yard touchdown catch by Gibson. Out to the left side. Space out there and finally down. It's Seven McGee. Had the big run last drive, and he gets loose again here.
Looks like the offensive coordinator finally found a play that he likes. Just give the ball to Seven. Lucky number 7.
A nice report from Sarah Merrifield. We didn't have a chance to talk about it because of the ensuing big play, but McGee, 6 older sisters. He is the 7th. Would have been a name for a child of George Costanza of Seinfeld fame. That's a big commitment. Class of 2020 at Oregon, as Sarah referenced, the only commitment so far in the class of 2020 for this American squad. More open field. Miles Nash finally brought down. Cameron Ma with the tackle, but the Americans finally creating some big plays late in this first half.
Finally getting some momentum, but I'm looking at this clock, and this is where when burning all your timeouts may come back to haunt you, but they have to keep this momentum going. What a great hard run.
Lucas Cormier with the first contact to slow down Miles Nash. They go back to the ground, bouncing outside. It's Nash up to about the 31-yard line.
Seems like Team USA has found something in this running game. Somebody has seen it to be able to make the adjustments, and they're getting a lot of runs, not in between the tackles anymore. They're spreading them out now. They're running a lot of sweeps.
Much like the under-17s United States, more rushing than passing. Only 9 passing attempts so far, and that long 58-yard touchdown pass accounting for 58 of the 86 total passing yards. 2nd and 9, under a minute left in the first half. Big ball down the left sideline, and he'll be out of bounds, and he dropped it anyway. Again, the target, Seven McGee. It was at a big second quarter.
I'm liking this kid. I'm really liking this Seven McGee kid. He looks like he's going to have some big days on Saturday coming up here soon.
A future Oregon Duck. And nice work from Lucas Cormier to keep him out of bounds. And Cormier, interestingly, from a town known as Sackville, New Brunswick in Canada. Now, he is a defensive back, but I'm sure he has a few sacks to his name.
I would have t-shirts and hats made with that on it all the time, walking around, just Sacksville on it.
Good size, the 6'2" cornerback. 3rd and 9. Flag comes in, might be offside. Looked like a few Canadian players were in the neutral zone. The ball was dropped by Miles Nash.
Offside. Number 20. Defense. 5-yard penalty. 3rd down.
Jackson Runge was offside.
Seven McGee, he fits, he looks like a prototypical type player for the University of Oregon, especially the way that they run their offense. It's like a fast break offense that they run out there.
Well, those of you interested in the recruiting scene and college football, a lot of good recruits coming up in the next game. The under-19 national team, 2/3 of the roster committed to Power 5 schools. And we'll go through those as the game wears along. Low snap on 3rd and 4. Another flag comes in. As a sack is made, Dorian Daniel Royal. We'll see if it stands up depending on the flag.
USA quarterback number 10, Kansas City, sacked the backfield. There is a flag on the play. Tackle made by number 91, Dorian Roy.
Seals the quarterback as the refs talk it over. Good year this year at Weatherford High School as the call is illegal formation.
More than 4 in the backfield. Penalties declined. 4th down.
Now the sack will stand up, bringing up 4th down at Weatherford High School. Seals 20 touchdowns, 9 interceptions. Over 2,600 passing yards for the class of 2020 quarterback, Ken Seals. They're going to try a long field goal here. This will be about 48 yards. Fabrizio Pinto, and it's well wide left. It had the distance, but wide left with 11 seconds left. Well, Pinto, who had the extemporaneous punt earlier on a low snap, unable to make it from 48.
And I think that was a great call by Team USA. I mean, a punt would do nothing. So, you have to try it, right? Have to see what you got.
Canada with 2 timeouts left, might get a few plays off. They'll begin from their own 38-yard line, and interestingly, Keegan Cator will lead them out. He has had more of the snaps since the starter, Xavier Tremblay, has left. I think they bring different attributes to this Canada team. He's just going to kneel down. Well, the first half will come to a close. United States leading 7-0, the only score, a 58-yard touchdown pass from Ken Seals to Jared Gibson. And the United States in position at halftime to get a victory after losing 6 of the last 7 to Team Canada. Canada with only 1 first down in the entire first half and 63 total yards on offense, but their defense has kept them in the game, down by only 7 points. Americans, 156 total yards, 8 first downs. And let's go back to the sideline with Sarah Merrifield.
Now, Coach, you have a lot of experience coaching in the International Bowl at all different levels of the game. Is there something specific you like about the U18 group, especially with 1 more year of high school eligibility?
Yes, with the maturity and the growth that you develop between the pivotal years of 16, 17 years old, you get a little bit more talent, a little bit more aggression. So it's easier to kind of mold them and get them to do what you would like them to do.
And we know there's a lot of pride between these 2 teams about what they represent on their chest. Do you see a little bit of competitiveness on the field? Did you expect the score to be that low?
Absolutely, but this game we've been 1-7 for the last 8 years, so we knew that they were going to bring the heat. So we just needed to match their intensity and just keep it up for the next half.
Thanks so much. Good luck in the second half. Guys, we'll send it back to you.
That's the head coach, Tyree Spinner. Thanks for his time. Halftime in Arlington. United States lead Canada 7-0. Welcome back. The International Bowl from AT&T Stadium. Team Canada and the United States, and the Americans up 7-0. Matt Peterson with Brian Barfield, and defense was really the name of the first half. And in many ways, Canada fortunate to be down by only 7.
Oh, yes. It was after they had a lot of penalties in the first half and a lot of miscues when it comes to the fumbling. They're very lucky to be only down 7.
Only 1 first down for Team Canada. The United States, some big plays late in that first half as we jump to our highlights. There's Ken Seals, and it was defense, defense, defense in that first quarter.
That Canadian defensive front, and what we talked about earlier, is just really getting to it. They were really, really coming downhill and getting a lot of pressure into the backfield against Team USA.
One of the big plays for Canada was this block punt. Put them in very good field position, but they could not take advantage after Pick taking over at the 22.
Could not convert. And that's the one thing that they have to do in the second half.
Their best chance, Keegan Cator downfield, a near touchdown from Keelan White, but it led to this unfortunate leg injury for Kendrick Hobson of the United States. And then a field goal was missed wide left.
And I'm hoping that that's not their only scoring opportunity for the rest of the game, but that was a great defensive play by Team USA.
A few big plays on this drive, beginning with Seven McGee, a big run. And his celebration after for the future Oregon Duck. And then this was the touchdown play, out to the perimeter, and a big catch and run for a touchdown for the United States and Jared Gibson.
Once again, those plays are made in the offseason. So I'm looking forward to seeing what the Team USA is going to do as far as getting the ball to 7. They have to keep getting to lucky number 7.
7 penalties for Canada, none for the United States, just 1 first down and 63 total yards. So they must be pleased that it's only a 7-point deficit.
Yes, and Canada opens up the second half with the ball, so they have to open up that offense as well.
Adjustments will be needed from Steve Samara and the Canadian coaching staff. We'll be back with the second half kickoff from AT&T Stadium when we come back for the International Bowl from Arlington. Welcome back. Moments away from the start of the third quarter. Matt Peterson and Brian Barfield with Sarah Merrifield. A defensive affair from AT&T Stadium. 9 total first downs, 8 for the U.S., 1 for Canada. And I wonder if the difference in rules could be affecting Team Canada. After all, they all play high school football under Canadian rules, which include having 3 downs instead of 4. That's a big difference to get a first down. It's also a 110-yard field, 10 yards longer than the American field, 13 yards wider than those in the United States. And of course, the end zones in Canada, 20 yards deep compared to 10 for the U.S. Do you think that could be affecting Team Canada tonight?
It could be, and I was wondering, I'm saying if they played those type with only having 3 downs, I was looking for more passing than I am running. I mean, I've watched a lot of those CFL games, and I mean, the great Warren Moon played there. Doug Flutie played there for a while, won a bunch of Grey Cups. And so I'm wondering if this second half they're going to open up that offense and start going down the field like maybe what they're used to doing at home.
Nicholas Kentico back to receive for Canada. They won the opening toss, the coin toss, and elected to defer, so that favors them now as they're down 7. Fabrizio Pinto missed a late field goal, but he did save the United States after a poor snap. He fumbled, but he still got the kick away, and a pretty good punt at that. Pinto with the kickoff, another squib. It's an onside kick and recovered by the United States. So throw away everything we said about Canada deferring and getting the football. It's and recovered by right Steve Seven McGee.
Look, he's right there. He's putting his stamp all over this game, Matt. He's making his name known. Now, you've got to hope that the people back in Eugene are watching saying, we can't wait.
And back to the sideline with Sarah Merrifield.
I had a chance to talk to Vi Tawa, the running backs coach for the U18 national team, just a minute ago, and he has a lot of experience with the running back position. He used to be a running back at the University of Nevada when he played between 2006 and 2010, and he's in the College Football Hall of Fame because of that. And I asked him what he loves about this experience so much, and basically he said, as a coach, it's really cool to be able to coach these kids, and he's been a part of the program since 2013, and he's seen a lot of these kids graduate through the program and go on to do great things. So not only is it an amazing opportunity for the players to build on their skill and just showcase everything they can with this age group, but not to mention his ability to coach these kids and obviously watch them go on to do great things. Guys.
Thank you. And one of your favorite players, Seven McGee, with a touchdown catch. What a throw from Trey Dawson. And one of those big plays we saw late in the first half. How about this throw?
I'm glad that they finally allowed Trey Dawson to go back down the field, and lucky number 7, there he is right there. One of the keys that I said coming out in the second half was that the U8 national team would have to open it up more. And it looks like they came out with the onside kick, and now they say first play from scrimmage. Let's go down the field and make them and see what type of defense they're in.
Oh, Seven McGee got behind 3 in the secondary. Fabrizio Pinto converts the point after touchdown. Now his 6 older sisters must be proud. Seven McGee with a long touchdown catch, and all of a sudden it's 14-0 to the United States.
I'm very, very impressed by the coaching staff, because to call an onside kick right from the get-go reminds you of Super Bowl, maybe, Sean Payton, New Orleans
Saints
versus
against the Colts.
Yes, come right out and say, hey, look, if this is what we're going to do, this is what we're going to do.
It has to be disappointing for Steve Samara and Canada. They seem to have put an extra bit of emphasis on special teams. We know they called a timeout earlier before a special teams play. They blocked a punt in a low-scoring game. Special teams are extra important. And you see Seven McGee on the other side. The hairs on the back of your neck might stand up a little bit, and you say, there might be something on here.
Yes, again, because he recovered the onside kick, just scored. And once again,
they will go for it again. It's out towards the star, and that time recovered by Team Canada. Pick Devin Verosuk with the recovery.
Matt, what the coaches are telling you here is that we're not afraid to pull any and everything out of our bag.
A touchdown catch, by the way, 45 yards from Trey Dawson to McGee. The earlier touchdown, Ken Seals to Jared Gibson for 58 yards. So the U.S. hasn't done a lot through the air, but 2 long touchdown catches of 45-plus yards. 14-0, back at quarterback. Xavier Tremblay out to the outside, immediately wrapped up. Nice tackle, Matthew Horn from Elk Grove High School, and Elk Grove, California, outside Sacramento.
Looking for Canada to come out and start maybe going some no huddle to get themselves back into this game, because if they go down one more score, it's going to make them hard. It's going to make it hard for them to come back.
Keelan White with the catch. It's very interesting to see Canada, that first series or two under Xavier Tremblay. They weren't getting a lot of yards, but they seemed to have a plan and some good plays to call, but they just haven't got it going consistently against this front seven of the United States, as tackled right on top of the star. And a minimal gain for Matthew Peterson.
I'm wondering why they're not, the Team Canada is not going to Damien Alford, the 6'5.5" wide receiver that they have. He clearly has the height advantage over the rest of the defensive backs. Like, you just throw it up there, it has to be a jump ball.
Yeah, you see him there, big number 88. Good point, Brian. Few targets early in this game, but none lately. Just past midfield, the Canadians on 3rd and 7. A big play. United States backs off, but they still get pressure on Tremblay, and he will throw it downfield. Interesting, they did not rush anybody but the front four, and they still pressure him.
Yes, and that was a great defensive call by the defensive coordinator. Rush 4, drop 7, put him back to give the quarterback a different look.
Jamie and Simon, part of the Simon twins. Jamian and Jalen out of Seven Lakes High School in Katy, Texas. Jamian with the pressure.
Matt, what's the lotto up to? I'm going to make sure, I'm going to go pick my numbers and just use all 7s.
Exactly.
It's becoming a recurring theme, it seems like.
A punt on 4th and 7 takes a pro-Canada bounce out around the 8-yard line. That's where the U.S. national team will begin. They have all the momentum. 14-0 lead for the Spinner brothers and Team USA.
Look for more. Look for them to open up the offense again on this first series. First couple of plays. I'm looking forward. I'm looking forward to seeing that. And now they're going to have the Canadian defense focused on 7 McGee. Now it's time to get some of these other players involved.
The U.S. take the field, led by quarterback Trey Dawson.
Bringing the big gun back out, Matt.
Yeah, he had the last touchdown pass to 7 McGee. See if the Canadians can force a turnover deep. As Americans begin from the 8-yard line. Handoff on 1st down, 3 or 4 yards for Miles Nash, the running back from Saxe High School in Rowlett, Texas.
They want to, what the Team USA wants to do right now is to make sure that they don't get complacent. And I know we still have a lot of football left to play, but play your game, but go back to that open style offense again to see if you can loosen up some of that front four from Team Canada.
Nash, the ball carrier, plays the piano when not playing football, so hopes to major in marketing in college. Man he liked to meet, one Barry Sanders. Nice defensive play out in the flat, and some smack talking afterwards from Daniel Flanagan as that was thrown out to Devin Gunter.
Looks like Team Canada was prepared for that play. Maybe they have seen it earlier and said, well, maybe that's what they're going to run on this 2nd down.
Flanagan from Calgary, Alberta. Nice play from the linebacker.
As the game goes on, I want to see if they're going to get Miles Nash involved into the passing game as well. Maybe run him out in some motion and get him into the flats, get him into the open field. Nothing like doing that for a running back to be able to see the field like that.
3 receivers to the right on 3rd and 13. Dawson deep downfield, nearly caught. Very good throw. And unable to bring it in was Jared Gibson, who had the touchdown catch earlier.
Great throw. I'm liking what I'm seeing from Dawson, the quarterback for the U8 for the national team. I am very impressed.
Oh, they overloaded that right side and still threw it down that way with 3 receivers over there.
You cannot have a bad snap like you did the last time on this, because I don't know if Fabrizio will be able to get away from it. And they're in their own end zone. This could cost them if they don't have a clean exchange.
We'll see if Canada goes for the block again. They've already blocked one today. Pinto gets the punt away. Pretty good kick. Backing up the returner. How about that kick? Inside the 30-yard line and down at the 22.
Great kick. That's what you need from your punter. Deep in your own end zone, in the back of the end zone where you don't have a lot of time or a lot of space. But to get a kickoff like that, that's amazing.
Down to the sideline once again with Sarah.
I'm joined now by defensive back Jared Maiden, who is a junior at Alabama, just finished this season. You are a USA football alum with this program. Your sophomore, junior, and senior seasons of high school, you played at Saxe High School here in Texas. Looking back on this experience, what do you feel you took away most from being able to play here, you know, at a big venue like this with these kinds of kids and this kind of program?
It's a big blessing to come here and play.
USA.
You know, this
their first
stadium,
time out of the
this kind of talent around, kind of get you ready for what you see in college. You know, big atmosphere, a bunch of
30-second
fans going crazy. You know, you get to compete against a bunch of good guys for the whole week, and you come out here and play. So, you know, it really gets you ready for college football.
Are you surprised by some of the talent out here right now? I know it's been a couple years since you've been in high school, but are you surprised by this?
Yeah, I'm surprised. I seen one dude just go up top right here on somebody, but you know, it's what you expect, though. You know, you got a lot of good guys out here. You know, everybody trying to make a name for himself. You're trying to beat Canada. So, you know, this is what you expect when you come to something like this.
And for you, giving any advice to some of these young guys going up through this program, what advice would you give to them?
Really make connections while you're here. You know, there's a lot of coaches here, you know, that can really help you in the future. And then take the knowledge that they give you. I still use some of the stuff Coach Spinner taught me when I was here, you know, in college. So, you know, just listen to what people are telling you and, you know, just enjoy the whole experience.
Thank you so much. Enjoy the rest of the game. We appreciate your time.
Thank you.
Guys, we'll send it back to you.
Once again, Sarah. And going back to that punt, Brian, it was a 72-yard punt from Fabrizio Pinto. And given the circumstances, punting from the back of the end zone, that's one of the best punts I've ever seen.
Yes, and I was amazed. To have such a strong leg like this at this age, it's going to go far.
Yeah, normally when you're punting from the back of your end zone, you're just trying to get it away, maybe get 30, 40 yards out of it, give your team a chance. That's 72 yards off the foot of Fabrizio Pinto on the prior punt. And now celebrations from Wesley Neal Jr. out of Gulliver Prep in Miami.
Matt, I guarantee you that punt right there made a lot of college coaches go, wait a minute. We probably could use something like that on Saturdays here.
Well, very interesting. Rice University and their director of recruiting, Jeff Barnett, is one of the coaches for the U18 national team. And they just graduated Jack Fox, who was a finalist for the Ray Guy Award. Some spectacular punts this season, but he graduated. So they might need a replacement in the coming years as they go over the middle of the field. Catch made. One of the biggest plays we've seen all day from the Canadians is Lucas Robertson over the middle of the field.
And that's what Canada has to do. That's exactly what Canada has to do. They have to test the defensive backs for the USA team if they want to get back into this game.
Third catch today for Lucas Robertson. Now they fake the handoff and gets away from 2 would-be tacklers and down around the 39. He's asking for a face mask. His helmet is ajar.
And that's what I thought it was going to be. I thought it was going to be a face mask.
Campbell on the tackle. A near sack for Jamie Simon, the Seven Lakes High School defensive lineman who's had a busy second half. 2nd and 12 for the Canadians, who thought they'd have great field position before the 72-yard punt from Fabrizio Pinto. 4 wide receivers for Canada on 2nd down. There's a man open at the 49-yard line. The productivity for the Canadians. Nicholas Kentico out of Quebec with the catch.
Starting to get some productivity out of that passing game.
His first catch today. Tremblay picking up confidence. Now 6 of 9. He hasn't thrown it much. Remember, they went to K-Tor in that second quarter, so 6 out of 9, but only 63 total yards. Still down by just 2 scores. Fake of a handoff. He rolls out to the left, waiting for blockers. He's going to throw it, and he underthrew it to the intended target, Lucas Robertson.
Great idea. Great idea. As soon as the defensive lineman started to penetrate and come upfield, he realized that he had a man that was open. Just couldn't get it accurate. It's hard to throw across your body running at that speed.
Pass interference. On the defense, number 22. The ball will be placed at the spot of the foul. Automatic. First down.
Denzel Blackwell at a Strake Jesuit High School in Houston. A opportunistic moment. As you can see, Coach Jeff Barnett, the offensive line coach here for Team USA, and the recruiting coordinator at Rice. Oh, now first down for the Canadians from the 45-yard line. 4 receivers, 2 on each side. Tremblay looking down the middle. He's throwing the deep ball. And it's that man you wanted to be targeted, but just a bit high for the 6'5" wide receiver, Damian Alford.
I'm impressed by the Canadian teams finally getting the ball down the field. If he'd had a little bit more time, if you've seen the defensive end was bearing down on him, if he'd had a little bit more time, I think he could have got a more accurate pass.
And that's the interesting thing, is both quarterbacks have that throw in the repertoire. We've seen it from Cater, now from Tremblay. So maybe here in the second half, they'll take more shots downfield.
Team USA is going to have to start bringing more pressure as well.
Alford on this left side, 4 receivers to the right, empty backfield for Tremblay. They're going back to the same man. This time he caught it. Did he get a foot in bounds? He did not. Nice catch from Alford, but he ran out of room.
And that was that pressure that was applied by Team USA. Once again, causing him to make a throw that he just wasn't comfortable with.
Half his foot was in, half his foot was out. Alford, 6'5", from Quebec. £210 on that 6'5" frame. Oh, now a quarterback draw on 3rd and 10. Maybe a 4-down territory for the Canadians. So they wanted to make it a more manageable 4th down opportunity.
If they're going for it on 4th down here, I can expect a lot of pressure from Team USA. But it looks like they're going to punt it.
Still a lot of football left. 5 minutes left in the 3rd, plus the entire 4th quarter. Hadley will kick it away. It's from Halifax, Nova Scotia. And there's our man, 7 McGee, back to return from about the 10. Minimal pressure from the United States. McGee will let it bounce inside the 5, and it's going to hit the pylon. It's down inside the 1-foot line. Excellent special teams coverage from Canada. Welcome back, AT&T Stadium in Arlington. It's the International Bowl. And Brian, I feel like I've watched a decent amount of football in my life. I don't think I've ever seen a punt hit the pylon like it does on this.
Never seen it hit the pylon either.
And stays in play. The last to touch it was Cameron Ma, and Canadian touched it prior to that.
But would it be a touchback? Because it looks like it broke the plane of the goal line.
Yeah, my first instinct was touchback. They had the entire break to sort out what the call would be.
Is that the ball touched the goal line and therefore resulted in a touchback. The ball is placed at the 20-yard line, first down.
Yeah, fair enough. Good point, Brian. And my first instinct when it hit the pylon and part of the ball broke the plane was that it would be a touchback. So instead of inside the 6-inch line, the U.S. starts from the 20-yard line. Ken Seals on first down throws it, and it's incomplete. Intended target, Charles Finley, a tight end from Irvington, New Jersey.
On both sides of the ball, the quarterbacks just seem like they're just a tad bit off, like a tad bit out of sync, and that goes back to what you said earlier about the 6 practices.
Yeah, it's been big plays from the U.S. Seals has 70 total yards. 58 of those came on his touchdown pass. Dawson, 57 total yards, 45 of which came on his touchdown pass. So not much for either Dawson or Seals besides those 2 strikes. Now on second down, out to the left side. Juking left and right and extending for about 5 yards. 7 McGee, his 3rd catch today.
Way to get him down on the ground, too. That's what the defense is going to have to do for Canada, is to make sure that they make good open field tackles, because this guy is great in space.
One of the tacklers, Austin Ballon out of Winnipeg, Manitoba. 3rd and 5 for Team USA. 3:48 left in the 3rd quarter. Seals looking right. Steps up to his left. A flag comes out. A helmet's off of a Canadian player. My guess is this is coming back.
Hands to the face.
Yeah, the flag was in the vicinity of the helmetless lineman from the Canadian defensive line. One of the referees talking with Bradley Alexandre on the Canadian side.
Personal foul, hands to the face. On the defense, on the offense, number 77. Half the distance to the goal, replay 3rd down.
Josh Fryer at a Beach Grove High School from Indianapolis, Indiana.
And therefore, he may remain in the game.
Hands to the face, as you suspected, Brian.
Yeah.
Negates what would have been a nice pickup from Ken Seals, the quarterback. The Americans backed up.
I like the awareness that Seals had in their last play, though, to be able to bring the ball down and take off running. Unfortunate they had penalty to bring it back.
Now 3rd and 18. Miles Nash in the backfield. They will pass on 3rd and long. Deep ball down the left sideline, and it is incomplete. Thrown into double coverage. Romeo Nash and Austin Ballon in coverage.
Yeah, be careful, be careful. That could end up in a penalty and keep that Team USA out there. But that was great coverage, though. Great coverage.
Looked to be slightly underthrown as Kavion Mack had to come back to the football just a bit.
He had to play defender at that point.
Kalen White, the primary returnee, trying to return this kick from Fabrizio Pinto. His last one from his own end zone went 72 yards. Bounces around the 45. This one bounces in favor of Team Canada and down at the 40. Charles Finley.
And that's why when you're Canada, you don't go for it on that 4th down. You punt it because you're playing the field position game. And that was very smart by the coaches.
I'll see if Canada can get to work when we come back to Arlington. The U18 national team up by 14 to the International Bowl.
Welcome back. The USA national team leads 14-0 over Canada right now, and I am joined by two very special fans of the stadium right now, Sasha and Shawnee Simon, and this is the parents of Jamian and Jalen, twins on the USA U18 team. Now, they caught our attention by these two very creative fatheads here in the stadium. How cool is it to be able to see your sons play together on this team?
Very, very cool. I'm so proud of them, and it's an honor. So it's just a cool experience.
And you guys aren't too far away from Dallas, Texas. So coming from Katy, Texas,
yes.
Does it make it any more special to be here at AT&T Stadium?
Oh, definitely, because it's the Dallas Cowboy Stadium. Yes, yes, yes. So definitely, yes. This is my son's dream.
And what would you say about watching them play here at AT&T Stadium?
Oh, I'm very proud of them for making it and able to make some tackles.
Yes. Yeah, so, I mean, we're loving every minute of it, so, yes.
Well, enjoy the rest of the game. Thanks so much for your time.
All right, go USA!
We'll send it back to you guys.
Thank you, Sarah. Good energy. Cowboy fans, the Simon family. This is, in some ways, a Houston all-star team, and with some other Texas players sprinkled in, but so many from the Houston area. I mentioned Katy, there's also Missouri City and other parts of Houston represented. Nice ankle tackle on the perimeter. Catch made by Keelan White. The American defense has been outstanding all evening.
The one thing that I like that I'm seeing is, back in the day, Houston, the city of Houston, used to be the hotbed, but now you're seeing in the surrounding area starting to, put a lot of kids in the D1 programs. You got the Katie's, the Cy-Fair schools, the Clear Lake schools, and things like that. So the suburban Houston schools are putting a lot of players in as well.
So would you say North Shore is inner city or suburban?
North Shore is definitely inner city.
Yes. State championship on a Hail Mary at this very stadium in December. Handoff, and a host of Americans force him into the backfield. Nice work from the defensive line.
Ethan Hagler, watch him, number 98, gets the penetration through and says, "Not today, young man, not today."
Rude greeting for Riker Frank, his first carry out of Regina, Saskatchewan. It feels like this defensive line, they're feeding off each other. One player makes a tackle, the others want to make it on the next play. It's a contagious group tonight.
4th down and 2. Wow. And the reason why I'm going wow is because, do you play the defensive, do you play the position game again, the field position?
Timeout. Canada, their second timeout of the half.
I think you have to go for it here. You're down 14. And this U.S. national team defense has been so tough to score against. It's not as if you're going to get the ball to the red zone easily in the fourth quarter. I think you have to take your chance here and try to extend the drive.
Don't be surprised, Matt, if you see a misdirection play here. You're going to have the line stacked. The defense, the Team USA is going to stack the line because they're going to try to prevent the run. And this is the best time for a misdirection play. Play action.
Now, Steve Samara giving the instructions. Interesting comments from him in the lead up to this game. He has been here year after year, and the Canadians have enjoyed success. But he said the biggest thing we need to do is not get caught up with seeing USA on the jersey. It's just an opponent. If who we're playing becomes bigger than doing our job, things can quickly go sour. Now, 4th and 2. Big play in this game. 37 seconds left in the third. Hands it off. A good fake out to the right side. Spinning past the 30. Fighting for the first down, and he'll get there. Tremendous effort. Lucas Robertson, the leading catcher today for Canada.
That was great effort by that young man. Very good effort. He's saying, I'm not going to go down. Not going down. Stretches out and gets the first down. Looks like old Jason Witten play right there.
And good thing for Team USA, I don't play on that defense. I thought the ball was in the arms of the ball carrier, so the run-pass offense very well sold that time, and a big first down for Canada, the 4th down conversion. Now it's a sweep to the outside. Nice space, he turns to the corner and has a first down. Keelan White from North Vancouver, British Columbia.
That is the end of the third quarter.
And that brings us to the end of the third quarter. So Canada on the move. Can they finally get on the scoreboard? 12 minutes left in the International Bowl. The United States leading Canada 14-0.
Upper Deck ePack's patent-pending technology lets you open, collect, and trade football cards at any time from anywhere. Make instant trades with collectors around the world, or choose to have your cards shipped directly to you. Complete challenges to earn rare achievement cards, available exclusively for ePack users. Sign up today at UpperDeckEPack.com and receive a free pack just for logging in. Buy, open, collect, and trade from anywhere at any time. Only on UpperDeckEPack.com.
The game starts in the film room and continues in the locker room. It locks down on the sideline, then plays out on the field. The game is controlled from the top down, mind over matter. Every second on the clock, every inch on the turf, fought over and decided upon by every player out there. It's their game, where strategy and speed of thought conquers all.
Gatorade studies the best athletes to create the most advanced range of sports fuel. Gatorade. You fuel us, we fuel you.
Good job. Good job. Good job. Nice. Good job. There it is. Go, 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 go. Keep him in. Keep him in. Exit, that's the way they celebrate. I can't hear you. What's the difference between a good defense and a great defense?
The best drive today for Team Canada. And on the 15-yard line. Xavier Tremblay on 1st and 10. Puts a man in motion. Wide snap. He'll go to the man who is in motion. Nice acrobatic catch and pushed out around the 5-yard line. Adley Mayala, first time we've called his name. He's from Calgary, and he gets on this offensive act.
It looks like Canada has finally found an offense that they're used to now, or that they're adequate with. It's one of those things where I look at it and say, you got to find those plays now in the fourth quarter where that's going to work for you. Scrap the rest of the playbook and say, this set of plays is what we're going to use.
Mayala, the 6th different man to make a catch today for Canada. 1st and goal from the 4. Xavier Tremblay, another man in motion. Fakes the handoff, wide open, and it's dropped. Mayala, they stay with the hot hand after his prior catch. 2 yards from the end zone.
You gotta have those plays, though. Those are the plays that'll come back and haunt you at the end of the game. He was wide open.
Keelan White dropped it in the end zone under heavy pressure in the first half. Canada's best time to score prior to this. That was a deep ball down the field from the other quarterback, Keegan Kator. That was a great play call. 2 straight times they put Mayala in motion, the first time from the left, that time from the right. Now they have the wide receiver split on each side. 2nd and goal from the 4. Shotgun snap, and they go back to the left side, and this time it's caught by Keelan White. Canada on the scoreboard. White from Tremblay, and they are within 1 score.
That was a very great throw by Tremblay. If you watch, he puts it right where the receiver is, right where it needed to be, away from the defender, but just where the receiver is to be able to make the catch.
White, one of the returnees from last year's team, which had a decisive victory over the U.S. He's trying to, 2-0 against the United States, and he gets Canada on the board. Hadley on for the point after touchdown. A good start to the 4th quarter. 11:39 left, and Canada within a 7 after this touchdown.
Once again, Tremblay puts the ball where if his receiver is not going to catch it, nobody is going to be able to get to it. That's a play that they probably practice on frequently.
So what did Canada do better that series to protect their quarterback, Xavier Tremblay? We saw much less pressure from the United States on that drive.
A lot of misdirection, like we talked about earlier, to free up some of these wide receivers and, the wide receivers and the running backs. So when you run misdirection like that, it stifles the defensive front 7. They have to stop, because the key is you got to find where the ball is. So even in the misdirection, one fake will throw it all off. We've seen that last week with the Rams and the Cowboys.
Well, we thought we might see more second half scoring, much like the prior game. U.S. beating Japan 28-24. This has been a much more offensive second half than after our first half defensive affair. And that one goes into the end zone. A good kickoff from Hadley. Now back to the sideline with Sarah. They get back to Sarah in a moment as the United States talks it over. Here she is.
With Philip Dawson. He goes by Trey, quarterback from Middlebury, Connecticut. You're here in Texas, the state of high school football. What have you learned from this experience so far?
I learned a lot. It's my second time. It's really great. Just playing with great competition, great guys from around the country, and taking on our neighbors, Canada. It's great. It's great.
And do you feel like there's a little bit more competition because you guys are taking on Canada?
Oh yeah, they're great players. They I think they're kind of adjusting to the different rules and stuff like that, but I think it's good either way.
With you still have a year left. Your future's still bright, of course, in football. What do you take so much away from your coaches to be able to continue with your next year of high school?
Right, they just help me with a lot of mechanic stuff, a lot of just little things in football. I mean, I have a good foundation already, so like they're teaching me a little bit more of the basics, a little more things underneath, and it's helping me a lot.
And is there any anything you've learned about being in Texas that you didn't already know, like two-step or some stereotypes?
Rodeo, a little rodeo history. I didn't know much about it, but I learned a little today. So.
Thank you so much. Welcome to Texas, and enjoy the rest of the game.
Thank you.
Guys, we'll send it back to you.
Trey Dawson also wrote and composed a gospel song as a kindergartner in Connecticut. As he told USA Football earlier this week in one of the questionnaires. It's fun seeing these athletes in game, bright, effervescent personalities.
Oh, yes. He said he learned about the rodeo, which is coming to Texas here soon. Down in the Houston area, it will be. It's really big in the city of Houston as well. I wonder if he's going to get a pair of cowboy boots before he leaves, though.
World's largest rodeo spans about a month's time. If you've never been, check out the Mutton Bustin'.
Great food at the carnival and the rodeo.
Just saw another touch from Seven McGee, who's now in the slot on 3rd and 3. Pressure on the quarterback. He goes downfield, nearly intercepted. Thrown into 2-on-2 coverage. An opportunity there for Emmett Stedman out of Regina, Saskatchewan.
Canada brought pressure on this play, which forced the quarterback to have to get rid of the ball when he did not want to. And he threw it off of his back foot. So he didn't even have a chance to get stable to be able to make an accurate throw. Great call by the defense.
Ken Seals with that throw, and it brings up 4th down. Coverage from Stedman. We've mentioned Regina, Saskatchewan many times today. A good majority of this roster comes from that Canadian city. Good pressure, but the punt is away. Bounces around the 35-yard line and picked up and immediately tackled. Keelan White picked up the bouncing football and was immediately brought down.
By Spencer Shaver. Good open field tackle. Because those are the type of plays that can turn a game around, because if he gets past Spencer Shaver, you don't know, the field was wide open, so you're not going to be able to stop him.
Shaver out of Prior Lake High School in Savage, Minnesota. He and teammate Parker Ellis, teammates in high school and teammates on this U18 United States national team.
And I think that Canada is doing the right thing by keeping Tremblay in the game. At this point of the game, you don't want to keep switching in and out. You got to go with the hot hand, and Tremblay is the hot hand we've seen on the last Canadian drive.
After the touchdown, they force a punt. Now they're going for the deep ball down the right sideline, and that is caught. Adley Mayala, a drop earlier. No problem on this one.
Watch this pass, Matt. Watch. You see when Tremblay has the time? Perfect. Dropped it right over the shoulder, and that's where you want to put it. If this kid gets time, he can get the ball down the field.
That's the fun part of All-Star games, which this is. We didn't mention Mayala's name till the start of the 4th quarter, but he's become a big part of this Canadian offense. A catch on the touchdown drive earlier, and then their longest pass of the day. Back in scoring position, 1st and 10 from the 25. They put Mayala in motion, and they hand it off, spinning away, and back near the line of scrimmage, Anthony Reynaud.
That's a keep them honest play right there, Matt. Let's run the ball just to make sure that they know that we still will run the ball. But I can see the next 2 plays probably going to be pass plays, down the field pass plays. I think that Tremblay is starting to get comfortable and realize I have some receivers that's open.
Adley Mayala, that catch a moment ago for 40 yards, the longest of the day for Canada. Shotgun snap. Steps up, away from the pressure. He has a 1st down inside the 10-yard line, finally brought down at the 7.
Tremblay is starting to put his mark on this game. We haven't called, listen, in the first half we called Seven McGee's name, and now look at what we're calling Tremblay. Making them tremble.
Timeout on the field for a defensive injury.
Important tackle from Joseph Perkins out of Jackson, Mississippi. And now with an injury on the field, let's go back to the sideline with Sarah.
So Clark Miller, the long snapper who's been playing all game, long for this USA under 18 national team, was now out with a leg injury. But of course, hero of the saves today, Dominic Pilato, who's been playing center for this U18 team. He's been the starting center all game long. He came over to the punting and kicking coach and said, hey guys, you know, I play long snapper for my high school. I can go in if you need me to. And honestly, they needed him to, so he saved the day here, and he's now the long snapper for the U18 USA national team. Guys?
Pilato, the offensive lineman. Thank you for a good nugget. Sarah?
Clark Miller, the guy who the young man who she mentioned out of Valdosta, Georgia. Valdosta has a great high school program. At one point, they were rated the #1 high school program in the nation consecutive years. So they're a football factory as well.
We hope he's okay, and an opportunity for Pilato. And what are all-star games for, guys? To play different positions.
And being able to play different positions will get you far in the NFL as well.
2nd and goal from the 4. A flag comes in. Illegal motion or false start.
False start, offense. All 11 players were not set prior to the snap. 5-yard penalty at 2nd down.
I'm sorry, Matt, did he say all 11 players were not set?
Yes.
That's including the center too. And he knows the snap count.
Well, whoever saw that has very good vision, able to watch 11 young men at the same time. Makes it 2nd and 9. Goal to go for Canada as they try to score 14 straight points to overcome this 2-touchdown deficit. Handed off up the middle. Conservative call on 2nd and 9. Canada just hasn't been able to run the ball today. 21 total yards on 17 carries before that run.
Wow.
About a yard per carry.
Great defensive pressure by Team USA. Man, I want you to pay attention to this next play. There may be a post corner play coming up here to the big wide receiver.
Damian Alford, 6'5". The lob it to the back corner, right on cue. Some contact, no flags. It wasn't to the man you suspected, but a good play call. That was intended for Keelan White.
And you got to go back to your bread and butter. He has been very effective for them today. That should have been a flag.
Yeah, I agree. Some contact that time from Christian Abraham, the defensive back from St. Joe's Regional High School. Referees did not make the call, and a field goal try coming here for Canada. And Ben Hadley from 26 yards. It's up and good. So Canada 10 straight points. They cut the deficit to 4. It's 14-10 United States. 6.5 minutes left in the International Bowl.
Our industry has been chasing this breakthrough for a decade, but we got there first. Not only is it ranked as the highest rated fiber in history, it delivers greater performance than any other field turf system ever built. Introducing Field Turf Core, the first multi-layer superfiber.
Player safety is paramount, and Tackle Tube USA, the original, is leading the way with a tool designed to make practice safer and teach great tackling technique. Tackle Tube allows players to simulate real game situations, track and tackle a moving target, promote great body position, and improve technique and timing. Coaches all over the world are using Tackle Tube to promote a safer and more efficient way to tackle. Used both in and out of season, drills for every position, they never need to leave the practice field. Check us out at Tackle Tube USA.
This season is one to remember, and USA Football has partnered with fanbooks.com to offer personalized player photo books that you will treasure forever. Customize your fan book with your favorite photos from your camera or from the USA Football photo albums inside the Fanbooks app. Use the free Fanbooks app to place your order, and your custom fan book will be delivered right to your door. Download the FanBooks app in the App Store or Google Play and learn more at fanbooks.com.
Now, total yards, pretty even defensive game here in the 2019 International Bowl. But Canada, I would say, with the momentum, 10 straight points, and now the United States has to respond as they receive the ball with 6.5 minutes left. And another good kick from Hadley. That's 2 straight touchbacks on the Halifax, Nova Scotia native.
Man, what do you think about them going for the field goal instead of going for it on 4th down for the touchdown? You take the points at that point to play to win the game later on, maybe, if you can stop them right here?
I don't mind the call. I think they had to go for it on 4th and 2, which they did, and they got it prior to that. I think the field goal is a good call there. They have not had a good running game all evening. They've had some success passing, but I don't mind it. The 3 points were there. Now a touchdown could win it, and if they hold United States to a field goal, they're still within a score. What about you?
I loved it. I loved it because if they get the defensive pressure here to stop them, they get the ball back and they have the momentum.
It's Trey Dawson back in at quarterback, and a nice play out to the outside from Nash. He's in the open field inside the 40. Nash cuts inside, and on the first play, it's a touchdown for the United States.
Momentum has swung. Great run by Nash. That was a great, and if you go back and you look at the play, you'll see, watch Matt, when he notices that this cutback is coming up right here. He's going to look and see, I got the other side of the field open. And as a defender, it's hard to try to stop your momentum going one way, open yourself back up, swing your hips open to chase down a guy with this much speed.
Miles Nash, 75-yard touchdown run on the first play of the drive. Point after touchdown is up and good. How about that for a response? The Americans back up by 11. These teams, like two boxers, trading blows here in the fourth quarter. 10 straight points from the Canadians, but the ultimate counter punch on the first play of the series. 75-yard touchdown run from Miles Nash, the native of Rowlett, Texas, just northwest of Dallas, about 40 or so miles away from Arlington. Hometown kid out of Saxe High School. Game-changing play there.
Oh, most definitely. Especially since Canada had stole some of the momentum, and it looked like they were about to get back into this game. That's a backbreaker right there, Matt.
Feels like when the Americans have got to the outside with the football, they've had success.
Yes.
They've found open space and then have used their athleticism to beat the Canadian defense.
Yes. And when you have speed like that, that's what you always want to do, is to be able to get out on the outside where you got some of those bigger guys, some of those interior guys are not going to be out there. And once you make one step, and that's what I noticed on that play, once he got to the outside, got one step on one guy, it was over and done with.
Good kick into the end zone, and they'll bring it out. Why not? Down by 11 in the fourth quarter. Big run back past the 20. Tripped up around the 26-yard line. Nicholas Kentico with the return back to the sideline with Sarah Merrifield.
I'm joined by Miles Nash, who helped give USA national team a 21-10 lead over Canada. What did you see on that drive?
I just had to hit the hole. I relied on my lineman to give me the right blocks, and I cut right off of them, and then I just saw the field.
And as we've been standing here, every coach, every player's been coming up and giving you high fives. What kind of bond have you been able to form with these guys in the last week?
A great one. I mean, it's a week to become brothers, and I'll never forget this team. I'll never forget this team. There are so many great people, great players on this team.
And now this is your third year with the USA football program. Coming to AT&T Stadium, does it get any less exciting?
No, man. It's always a new, exciting experience, new, exciting score, and hopefully a new, exciting win.
Well, congratulations on that touchdown, and we'll go let you continue playing this game. Thanks so much.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Guys, we'll send it back to you.
Brian, it's somewhat the offseason. I wonder when the last time he had to run 75 yards, as he just did for a touchdown score.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sitting over here still panting hard like I just ran the ball. And Matt, it's so refreshing to see a kid like that that's still that excited, you know, still has all that exuberance in him. It's like, yes, you know, I'm still playing football. It's very, very exciting.
From the 26, Canada. They'll go deep downfield. Big ball and incomplete. Nice attempt once again from Nicholas Kentico, going over the top to prevent an interception. And nearly batted up to himself to make the own completion. Christian Miller, the defensive back out of Beaufort, South Carolina, in coverage.
Now, that's the same guy, you remember, who caused the play to stop the touchdown in the first half. He was the one that stopped that, the one that we've been crazy on, man. I loved it.
Play fake. Now they go back downfield. Caught right at the start. Good throw. And a big pickup. Keelan White.
Canada has to be in a no-huddle offense, a hurry-up offense, their 2-minute offense, in order to be able to get back into this game.
So much more confidence from the quarterback, Xavier Tremblay. Big throw after big throw here in the fourth quarter.
If I'm Team USA, I'm bringing some pressure on him, though. I got to get him rattled just a tad bit in order to get him off the mark.
1st and 10 from midfield, 5:20 left. They blitz. He gets the ball away, and it's overthrown. Intended target was Lucas Robertson.
And right on cue, they bring a safety blitz. If you go back and you watch Tremblay, he is not comfortable. And that's what Team USA is going to have to continue to do, because this kid has already established that if you allow him time to see the field, he is going to be able to complete the passes that he needs to get to his teammates.
On 2nd down, it's tipped and incomplete. They tried to go back to White. Another note on Nash, 3rd consecutive international ball, as Sarah mentioned. A good season this year. 121 carries, 743 yards for Sac City High School. His cousin, Jalen Maiden, was a quarterback at Mississippi State. They're 2 years apart in age, and they shared 1 season together at Sac City High School. On 3rd down, loss of a couple, so the Americans clamping down against Xavier Tremblay.
Bad snap right here. Well, nope, Tremblay just took his eyes off the ball. And that's what happened once you start getting pressure on a quarterback. He's already trying to look at the hot reads.
4th and 12. The game really on the line here. Canada must get a first down to extend this drive, or else it's Team USA ball at midfield with under 4.5 minutes left. A late timeout called by the United States.
Timeout, USA. Their second, it's 30 seconds.
Seen something that they didn't like, Matt. You know what? I want to go back to the interview with Nash. The one thing that I was very impressed by out of that whole interview, did you hear him keep saying, yes, ma'am, yes, ma'am, yes, ma'am? That shows you that this kid not only gets it on the football field, but off the football field as well.
Good respect. Texas attribute, that's for sure. And
man, I'll never forget when I was stationed on the East Coast, I would always say, yes, ma'am, no, ma'am, yes, sir, no, sir. And they'd be like, why are you calling me sir or ma'am? I was like, I'm from Texas. They'd be like, oh, bless your heart.
Final conversation before this big 4th down play. Nash talking about his older cousin, Jalen Made in the QB at Mississippi State. He said he helped me in many ways as far as learning my position and other positions along with the playbook.
That's the most important part about playing football.
4th and 12. Tremblay from the shotgun. Steps up and taken down. Shy of the first down marker. He could not get away from Jamian Simon and his twin brother, Jalen Simon. So credit half a tackle to each of the Simon twins.
And I bet you that mom and sister are in the crowd going crazy right now, shaking those fat heads up in the crowd.
Now that would be a great picture for the Simon family. A shot from the back of those two taken down. Xavier Tremblay. U.S. will take over.
Glad to see that the Team USA brought pressure on that last play. A lot of teams like to sit back and play the yard marker and give you everything underneath. But these coaches say, not today, we're going to bring this pressure and make you beat us.
Trey Dawson back in at quarterback. Fakes the handoff, keeps it himself, and he's brought down. It looked like both of them wanted the ball. Nash, who just had the 75-yard run, wanted it. And the quarterback, Dawson, wanted it too.
Reminds me of the old movie, what was it, The Replacement? You take it, you take it, you take it.
Isaiah Latander with the tackle, the Winnipeg native.
At what point do we see Canada start to use their timeouts to try to preserve some of this clock to get back into this game, even though they're down 2 scores?
Yeah, surely coming soon, I would think. Dawson will let the play clock tick down under 5 seconds. Puts a man in motion. A pitch to 7 McGee. He's over midfield. Fighting his way up to the 40-yard line.
I like what the coaches from Team USA has done. They brought in Dawson to give the look of, we may throw the ball downfield, we may utilize his big arm, and they're still running the ball because Team Canada is back waiting on him to throw the ball down the field.
Dorian Daniel Royal had a chance at an open field tackle, but McGee broke away.
USA ball spotted at Canada 40-yard line, first and 10.
Pair of receivers out to the left. Dawson on first down. McGee again in motion. And they hand it back to Nash. Picks up a couple.
This is going to be a methodical drive by Team USA to try to just run the clock down.
Timeout, Canada. Their second, it's 30 seconds.
Canada calls time. Latander and Nathan Karabatsakis in on the tackle. Karabatsakis from Winnipeg. Great coaches are always learning. USA Football makes it easy to lift your knowledge and your team. Click development and training at usafootball.com and see what coaches are talking about. Click development and training at usafootball.com today. Tyree Spinner, the head coach, brother of Bryson Spinner. Brothers on his coaching staff. They also coach at the Avalon School in Wheaton, Maryland. And Tyree has a lot of experience with the U.S. national teams. It's his third international bowl as head coach. He led the under-16s last year and the under-17s 2 years ago. 2nd and 8. Seven McGee in motion. They fake it, and they'll go downfield. Caught at the 20-yard line. He stays on his feet, and he'll get into the end zone. Another touchdown, this time for the tight end, Charles Finley.
Great play call right there by Team USA. Great play call.
Yeah, the playbook has really been expanded. Early in the game, it was a lot of conservative plays. Now they're really getting unique because they put McGee in motion, faked the handoff, and they went over the top.
And that's what the running game will do for you. You get effective in the running game, it definitely opens up the passing game.
Spectacular balance from Finley to stay on his feet. It was a pretty good tackle in the middle of the field, but he stayed up and rewarded with the touchdown. Oh, it took until there were 4 minutes, 43 seconds left in the second quarter for the U.S. to score. As whistles negate that PAT.
False start, number 75, offense, 5-yard penalty. The try will be from the 8-yard line.
So making an 18-yard point after touchdown. But beginning with that touchdown catch from Jared Gibson of 58 yards with 4:43 left in the second quarter. The U.S. have now scored 4 touchdowns since. And most of them big plays. The most recent one, Finley for 38 yards, and it's a fake. They'll throw it towards the end zone and wrestled out the 1-yard line. Nice play made by Romeo Nash, denying a 2-point play from Hayden Hagler, the tight end.
Great play by the Canada special teams. Way to be on alert. A lot of times, a lot of teams just want to go for the kick.
This is the touchdown throw over the top. And how about this balance? Tackle nearly made by Nash. Yeah, the 38-yard touchdown for Finley from Dawson.
And once again, Matt, an effective running game is what caused that play right there to happen. You bring in Seven McGee in motion. You don't know if he's going to get the ball or not. You just had Nash go for a long run in the previous series. So the Canadian defensive team is saying to themselves, we don't know what's coming. And hats off, my hat goes off to Team USA for being able to call the plays that they're calling. That's the hard part about playing from behind, Matt. The Canadian team has been playing from behind all game. And when you're playing from behind, you tend to try to make it all up in one play. You try to be the guy that comes up and makes the great hit, the great tackle, you know, or try to strip the ball. And it's just hard to do when you're playing against a talented team like this.
Finley, the touchdown catch, he also plays the piano. He and Miles Nash, piano players. Those two trying to orchestrate an offensive symphony from Team USA here in the second half. A 17-point lead out of the end zone. It's Kentico. Wrestled down by a couple American, including Trey Maxwell from Centerville, Virginia.
What can we expect here the last 2 minutes and 18 seconds? I'm pretty sure we're going to see a lot of open field passing by Team Canada.
Now Steve Samara, the head coach of Team Canada, he's really opened up the playbook in this fourth quarter. Seemingly every throw has been 20, 30 yards downfield as we see the other quarterback back in, Keegan Cator. And he'll go to the left side, nearly brought in, but incomplete, intended for Keelan White.
I would think that you would still see Tremblay during this time. So, but maybe Cato has the better arm.
Yeah, perhaps it's seemingly the all-star rule. They just want to mix it up, give both quarterbacks a chance. They may have had an idea of how many drives both quarterbacks would get. 17-point deficit with 2 minutes left. It would be hard to come back. Cater over the middle. Again, White with another reception, has a first down.
Pass complete to number 13,
White with a touchdown catch earlier today. He's been the main man for Canada in the receiving corps. That was his 8th catch.
At this point, I'm just, I'm thinking that both teams are like, let's just go ahead and get no one hurt. Great sportsmanship, call it a game. Very hard for Canada to come back from this deficit. Offensive explosion after we've seen defensive bringing the hat early on.
To the outside, caught. Emmett Stedman jukes his way up to the 45-yard line.
pass complete to number 18, Emmett Stedman.
Timeout on the field for an offensive injury.
Ball was tipped. Stedman caught it, but grabbing his right knee after this catch.
You've seen the turf grab the cleat.
As right cleat stuck into the turf as he made that final cut. The sports best work with USA Football to teach the latest in blocking and tackling. Learn, teach, and perform USA Football's contact and tackling systems for smarter and stronger play. Visit footballdevelopment.com today. That's footballdevelopment.com. Edmund Stedman being looked at from Regina, Saskatchewan.
The one thing that these kids will take away from today is just the experience. Being able to, for some of these kids, I know that it's, multiple times for them, but, looking at them and the way that they're playing and even, looking at them on the sideline, the jubilation, you can tell that they really, really enjoy playing this game. They really enjoy being here. They really enjoy playing inside of an NFL stadium, one of the best stadiums in the NFL. So
Stedman helped off by the training staff of Team Canada.
Matt, the one thing that I love about this too is that now, as great or prevalent as social media is, a lot of these guys from different parts of the country, even around the world, will be able to keep in contact with each other and watch each other's highlights and things like that. So you make great friends.
Great point. Great way to keep in touch after 6 days of fun come to an end in Arlington. Hand it off to the right side. I go back to Anthony Renault. Well, stay with us. Brian, Sarah, myself will be back 8 o'clock. The United States under-19 national team against Tamaulipas of Mexico. U.S. looking for a clean sweep today, 4-0. The Mexicans trying to spring an upset. USA went 3 of 4 last week. The Panamanians, the only non-American team with the victory. Catch is made and over midfield. O'Reilly Felix from Dartmouth, Nova Scotia.
Tackle made by number 24, Hunter Washington.
Hunter Washington with the tackle. Katy High School defensive back.
Loss of 3 for Canada.
And Matt, if you're Commissioner Roger Goodell, you're looking at this and you're seeing all the international players here playing this game, and it has to make you feel good to know that you put an imprint across the world.
Felix able to make the catch. Flags come out. I don't know if he went out of bounds and came back in, but 2 flags right near him.
Illegal touching, number 6, offense. Went out of bounds on his own, was the first to return in bounds and touch the pass. The penalty is a loss of down at the previous spot. It's 3rd down.
It's the playground play. You go out of bounds, you hide behind a garbage can, you come back, and you're wide open.
My play was always faking the injury, Matt. I would come out, act like I was hurt, get the guy not to be paying attention, and then I just take off running.
Or you can pretend you're winded, like you're sitting out of play, hands on knees, huffing and puffing, and then you call for the ball and you're open.
Like you're watching Nash go down the field again. I think I'm still winded from that, man.
Yeah, 75-yard touchdown run for Miles Nash. Really the big play in this game after Canada had cut it to 14-10 on the first play of the ensuing drive. Restored an 11-point lead. Keegan Cator scrambling forward the final seconds of this game. And the U.S. celebrating this victory as the clock ticks 2-0. So the United States under-18 national team, they lead from start to finish, and they win 27-10. Your final thoughts, Brian Barfield?
Hey, great game. Both teams played hard. They competed well, and I was really impressed by the national team.
Final score, United States U18 national team 27, Team Canada 10.